I love you. I will never cheat on you.
Ngozi had been married to Amika for 6 years, and for 4 of those years, she had been living a double life. Not one lover, three. Tunde, the smooth-talking bank manager, Chidi, the young mechanic from down the street, and Bassi, her husband's own business partner. Every week had a rotation, every lie had a script, and for 4 years it worked because Emeka trusted her completely. That Thursday night, all three men were in her house at once. A miscommunication, a scheduling mistake. Ngozi was pouring drinks and laughing, moving between three men in three different rooms, when she heard the one sound that stopped her heart, her husband's key turning in the front door. He wasn't supposed to be back from Port Harcourt until Sunday. She had 11 seconds, maybe less. There was no time to explain, no time to sneak anyone out the back. In the storeroom stood 3 large sacks of foodstuff, rice, Gary, and beans, that she'd bought for a market resale business. She dumped the contents onto the floor in a panic. "Get in! Now!" Tunde went in first, folding his tall frame into a shape that shouldn't have been possible. Chidi followed, cursing under his breath. Bassi, Ameka's own partner, hesitated only a second before climbing into the third sack, his hands shaking. By the time Amika's key turned in the lock, Ngozi was standing in the sitting room, breathless, a glass of water in her hand, and a smile stretched too tight across her face. "You're home early," she said. Emeka dropped his bag by the door, exhausted from the drive. "Meeting ended early. Thank God, I couldn't wait to see you." He kissed her forehead, and Ngozi's stomach turned to ice. Then he looked toward the storeroom. "Ah, the sacks arrived? Good, good. I told my brother's boys to come collect 3 sacks tonight for the church harvest donation. They should be here any minute." Ngozi's smile cracked. "Church? Donation?" "Yes, now. I promised Pastor we'd give 3 full sacks this year. Foodstuff for the widows program." He was already walking toward the storeroom, rolling up his sleeves. "Let me help them carry it out before they come. No need to stress the boys." "No!" Ngozi lunged, too late. Emeka grabbed the first sack by its tied end and heaved it toward the door. It let out a muffled groan. He froze. This sack just moved." "It's rice settling," Ngozi said, voice cracking. "It does that. Rice does that." He grabbed the second sack. It groaned louder. A distinctly human, distinctly male sound of pain. Emeka slowly turned to look at his wife. Ngozi was already backing toward the door, keys in hand. "Emeka, I can explain." He untied the first sack. Tunde's head popped out first, gasping for air, foodstuff dust in his hair. Then the second sack, Chidi, groaning, a rice grain stuck to his forehead. Emeka stared, speechless, his hands trembling as he reached for the third sack, the one that hadn't made a sound at all. He untied it slowly, and there, curled up inside, sweating, refusing to make eye contact, was his own business partner. His best man from their wedding, the godfather of their daughter. "Bassi," Emeka whispered. "Bassi?" Nobody in that room spoke for what felt like an eternity. Ngozi had already reached the front door. Emeka looked at his wife one last time, at the 3 men climbing out of sacks meant for the church's widows program, and said only one thing before she ran into the night. "Even the church sacks weren't safe from you." The next morning, the whole street already knew. By the following Sunday, Pastor still received his 3 sacks of foodstuff for the widows program, delivered anonymously by a man who never explained why and never mentioned his wife's name again.